Hi there, Casey Healy, Director here at Century 21 Novocastrian, joined today by
Nicole Hoare, our Business Development Manager.
We're back with our landlord update, taking you update every month on what's happening in the office, what's happening on the ground, what are we seeing in the rental market. So this month, let's talk numbers, what's happened in the office over the last 30 days. So we've seen 1,364 tenant inquiries. From that, 92 inspections were scheduled. Applications received 324, and 29 properties leased. So it's telling us that we need to complete 3 inspections per property on average to lease a property. Average rent of properties leased $587.20 per week. So that has increased slightly, but it's in line with the rental market and what's happening in the rental market. We have received this month the quarterly rental review from CoreLogic. It was released in October, so I will put a link in this video to that report if you want to review it in detail. It does go into more capital cities and then just allows for regional as a single line. But if you've got multiple investment properties across Australia, it's a great report to be able to see what's happening across each market. The overview of what's happening is national rent values rose 1.6% in September, down 60 basis points from the 2.2% rise over the June quarter. So we rose over June, but we have dropped back slightly. And we have seen that with our days on market slightly increase over the last couple of weeks. What we're really finding is it's not a rental crisis, and I have said this many times, it's an affordability crisis. So the cheaper end of the market, properties are leasing. It's that middle and that high end. Anything over, say, $750 per week here in the Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, Newcastle region is harder to lease and does take that longer period, those longer, higher days on market. And what we do know is every week your property is vacant, it's costing you 2% of your rental income. So be aware to price your property right and price it into the market, because 3 weeks lost income, 6% of your rental income. That's quite a lot considering interest rates are at the highs. You want to ensure that your property is making you money. Obviously, you're not doing this for fun. It's a long-term investment, building your financial freedom.
Yeah, and I suppose when it comes to the property being on the market for those, you're getting that 2 or 3 inspections, that's where the property managers, they will have those conversations and let you know what's happening in the market, and for that readjustment, that'll make a big difference.
Yeah, we can tell you exactly how many tenants have inquired on your property, how many have said made the inquiry but then haven't shown up for the inspection, how many that have scheduled to be at that next inspection. So we have clear data across the leasing of the property, so we can really make that informed decision on when we need to readjust that price. So as a landlord, how do we maximise rental returns for landlords?
Yeah, so what we do as an agency is that leading into, obviously, when we go to market, we always do want to maximise the return. We've just touched on doing that adjustment if we need to. But coming towards the end of the tenancy, we're looking at about 90 days out. The team will have a look at, so your property manager will have a look at the market comparables. They'll see what's happening in the market and then see if there's room for a rent review or an increase at that time. Not always. They're not always going to be a rent review, but they will ensure that
there'll always be a rental review.
Oh, sorry.
There just may not always be an increase.
That's what I was trying to say. Thanks, Kate. So with the review, correct, always will be a review, but with the rental increase, that is having a look at what's happening in the market at that time. But be mindful that the team are there to guide you through that. So if you've got tenants, and we see it all the time that there's been long-term tenants, and as investors, it's great to have long-term tenants, but you need to stay in line with the market.
Even if you're keeping it slightly under, you still need to have that regular increase. So an example, current property, we've got an owner that's looking at selling purpose-built investment at Fletcher. It's a dual key. That property is valued on its rental income. You could say 95%, if it's going to sell, it's going to sell to an investor. It's dual key, meaning it's one title, 2 properties, 1 title. So it's based on rental return. Investors are doing numbers based on rental return. And at the moment, for 5%, you can get the same return as putting your money in the bank as you can for having it in an investment property. So we need to ensure that if you are looking at selling down the track, that you're having those conversations with us early so we can pre-plan these things to ensure you're getting the maximum for the sale price of your property. Now, it's great to have a great long-term tenant, no tenant changeover, and yes, that will slightly increase your rental return, but actually having the property at market is where you're going to make your money.
That's when you're going to refinance and things like that, and you're looking at that. That's all, for the purchaser, that's what the banks are asking for on that rental return.
Just a couple of tips on maximising your rental return. If you would like a copy of the CoreLogic rental report, please see the links below in this video. If you have any questions in relation to your current property, how can you maximise further returns off that property? Maybe it's that we subdivide, maybe we put something at the back. There's all of these things, and we have partners that we're working with to be able to have those discussions that we can pass you on with their details to really ensure that you're building well.
Just before we wrap up, we've got our morning tea.
Pink Ribbon morning tea. So we're having an office morning tea Friday the 20th of October. So you may see this after this video, but don't worry, you can still donate. We will put a link below where you can make any donations. It's a charity that's really close to most of our team's heart, actually. Unfortunately, like a lot of people are touched by breast cancer. But we're celebrating and having a fundraising morning tea in the office on Friday. So lots of yummy treats. That's all for us this month. If you've got any questions in relation to your investment, if we can help you in any way, shape, form, any feedback, we'd always love to hear it. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. My mobile is 0425 257 003, or you can reach out to Nicole on
0408 434 461.
We look forward to talking with you soon. Bye.